still satisfied with Ingrezza after 2 years, and you can keep taking most mental health meds.
Ingrezza can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden behavior or mood changes, or suicidal thoughts. Don't take Ingrezza if allergic. Serious side effects may include allergic reactions like sudden, potentially fatal swelling and hives, sleepiness, the most common side effect, and heart rhythm problems. Know how Ingrezza affects you before operating a car or dangerous machinery. Report fever, stiff muscles, or problems thinking, as these might be life-threatening. Shaking, stiffness, drooling, and trouble with moving or balance may occur.
Taking control starts with asking your doctor about Ingrezza.
Ingrezza.
This is KCAL News, Los Angeles.
Now at 5, U.S. bombers touching down in Missouri, returning home safely after bombing nuclear sites in Iran. Welcome to KCAL News at 5 on CBS Los Angeles. I'm Gio Insignoras.
And I'm Jasmine Veal in for Leslie Medine. We're also streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. Tonight, it's still unclear what nuclear capabilities Iran has after the U.S. bombed 3 sites yesterday. But Iran's foreign minister says there will be everlasting consequences.
KCAL News reporter Willie James Inman is in Washington, where U.S. officials are warning against countermeasures from Iran.
Hours after the U.S. launched airstrikes on 3 key Iranian nuclear sites, President Trump declared the mission a spectacular military success.
Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
During the strikes called Operation Midnight Hammer, B-2 bombers dropped bunker-busting bombs on the nuclear installations.
The battle damage assessment is ongoing, but our initial assessment, as the chairman said, is that all of our precision munitions struck where we wanted them to strike and had the desired effect, which means especially in Fordo, which was the primary target here.
On Face the Nation, Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned Iran against making any retaliatory moves against the U.S. or its interests.
We'll see what Iran decides to do. I think they should choose the route of peace. We've done everything. We have bent over backwards, okay, to create a deal with these people.
On Capitol Hill, Republicans mostly welcomed President Trump's decision, while some Democrats said the commander-in-chief should have consulted Congress first.
I'm always open to new intelligence, but the procedure should have been that Congress was briefed before we decided to enter war and that we actually had a vote on it.
With Israel and Iran in their second week of battle, the IDF's chief of staff said the campaign is ongoing, adding that the Jewish state has targets to strike and objectives to complete. Willie James Inman, KCAL News.
And right here at home, protests against the U.S. strikes. Demonstrators facing off with troops outside the federal building in Westwood.
KCAL News reporter Lauren Posen live in Westwood, which is home to a large population of Iranian Americans. Lauren?
Well, Gio, Jasmine, emotions are high, and that's what brought people out here to protest. Some people told us they are against the U.S. getting involved. Others say they're just really worried about what happens next.
Sad, very depressed. But you know what? I thought sitting home and being sad is not going to do anything. I better do something, come out, get my voice out.
The U.S. airstrikes in Iran have sparked strong reactions thousands of miles away in Los Angeles, home to the largest Persian population outside of Iran.
I am here to raise my concern to protect another bloody war like what we did in Iraq, based on lie.
As Marines stood guard at the federal building, demonstrators gathered at the corner of Westwood and Veteran, holding signs and discussing Saturday night's airstrikes. And Operation Midnight Hammer, B-2 bombers dropped bunker-busting bombs on 3 Iranian nuclear sites.
This is something that is just going to bring more uncertainty, more violence to people in the Middle East who have already been subject to so much, and do nothing for working people, the working class in the United States. These wars cost billions of dollars.
Across this country. Thank you.
From Westwood to downtown Los Angeles, more people took to the streets in opposition. Some fear retaliation.
Knowing how a country like Iran reacts when it's attacked, it is absolutely naive to think it's a one and done for the United States.
At the core of both protests is a deep concern for loved ones in Iran and the fear of what comes next for them.
So many people across the world can really, empathize and sympathize with what is happening and the threat of your family being bombed or targeted by warfare in one way or another.
Now, both the president and vice president have spoke out against any retaliation from Iran. However, this is something the state is taking very seriously. The governor says that they are closely monitoring with the Threat Assessment Center. The mayor of LA echoing his statements there, saying the city is also closely monitoring any threats, and LAPD has also stepped up patrols. Reporting live in Westwood, Lauren Posen, KCAL News.
And the concern about cyber attacks as well. All right, Lauren, live there in Westwood. Stay with KCAL News, KCALnews.com for continuing coverage of the Iran strikes. We're also streaming on CBS News, Los Angeles.
Sunny and a bit windy today across SoCal. Taking a live look outside right now toward Long Beach.
We just said it's a perfect day.
Yes.
It was a perfect temperature. What a change from a day ago. As KCAL meteorologist Marina Jericho with that first look at our next weather forecast, we were socked in yesterday.
It took so long for those clouds to clear. Some folks didn't even see the clearing happen. And then we all knew. Friday, I said, Sunday is going to be the day that you want to get outside and enjoy it. So I really hope that you had a chance to get out there, because what's happening again tonight is that onshore flow is moving right back in, and so we'll be socked in on Monday. But Mount Wilson, it's hazy sunshine, but you can see it all the way from the foothills, valleys into our coastal locations. We are bright and sunny. So clouds are returning overnight tonight. That's going to make for a cooler Monday as that onshore flow really starts to strengthen. But then high pressure moves back in, so we'll be gradually warming starting Wednesday into the upcoming weekend. But we're still going to deal with some morning clouds and afternoon sun as that June gloom pattern continues, as we're, believe it or not, winding out the month here as we head into this week. So looking at temperatures right now, not too shabby. 79 in Pasadena, 69 in Malibu, 73 Santa Ana, 82 Claremont, and 86 is the hot spot in Lancaster. And comparing our temperatures that we topped out at today to what our average is, you can see that we were in the 70s and 80s, and all of us were either at or below or just a touch above average. So it was a really pretty day, but I'm tracking much cooler temperatures coming in with your full next weather forecast coming up.
Marina, thank you. 6 teens shot and seriously injured overnight in Moreno Valley. It happened just before 11 p.m. yesterday on Orchid Lane, just north of the 60 freeway. The Riverside County Sheriff's Department says 5 teenagers were found with gunshot wounds at the scene, and a 6th person arrived at the hospital on their own later on. All 6 victims are between 14 and 18 years old. All are in critical condition. No arrests have been made so far.
An off-duty San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy shoots and kills a double homicide suspect in Fontana. Listen to how this all happened last night, right outside a Five Guys restaurant on Summit Avenue. Investigators say the suspect, a 45-year-old man, shot and killed